Okay guys, so today I'd like to provide you with a tutorial how you can basically control any C++ class using C#, which is quite handy if you have some technical computing or something that really needs the C++ speed. But it's not that straightforward as it might seem the first view. Okay, so what we are gonna do today is basically this. We firstly create C# main controlling engine. This is what I have partially prepared here. Then we are gonna create the C++ wrapping class. And thirdly, we are gonna create the main computing class, okay, which is also in C++. How it processes is the following way. Firstly, we create an array, which I'm trying to do over here. It's in C#. Then C# passes this array using a pointer to C++ wrapping class, and through the wrapping class we are gonna control another class in C++, and this class is the main computing class, which will handle the mathematical operations. In our case, it will just compute simple thing as a sum of the array. Okay, why I'm doing this is that basically I cannot use, for instance, a vector in this wrapping class, which is directly controlled by C#, because vector is not managed part of basically it cannot be used directly over C# because it is not managed vector. Okay, this is not a standard data type. It would result in error if we wanted to really run application that is seen from C# and uses vector. So we must do it indirectly using this wrapping class. Okay. Okay, so let's get started. First thing you want to do is open your C# Studio. Go to Solution Explorer, go to the solution properties, and make sure you have x86 over here. If you do not have it, just do the following. Press New and select x86. I cannot do it because I've already did it here. Okay, and yeah, there should be x86. Make sure it's like that. Second thing you want to do is go to properties of the console application and make sure you have allow unsafe code. It is not checked by default. Okay, so really do that. It's in build. Okay, so let's start. Here we have some integer that indicates number of elements we want to hold in the array. Secondly, we create a simple array of integers, this one. Then we create a loop that fills the array with some numbers. Say I will multiply the I with 10. Okay, and this is basically now our array. Okay, and we want to sum this array in C++. Sorry, using a vector. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to create an application in C++ Studio. I'll make this smaller so that you can see it. And okay, like this, and create new project, console application, and let's call it C++ computing. Oh, I cannot type it. Okay, class. Okay, here just select empty project. Here keep it like this. Okay, this will be our standard console application. We are trying to basically do this. Okay, so in the Solution Explorer, just add new item. It will be header file. Let's call it header. Other part we want to add is say body, and the last we just create an auxiliary C++ file, say main. Okay, so here we have these 3 files. Make sure you put here pragma once as well as in here. Then in here put include header.h and void main. Okay, this is just our special purpose vehicle just to test this class. Okay, in header we create class public. Class will be called, say, computing class. Okay, and computing class, the constructor will be the following. Computing class, and we're gonna accept pointer to integer and integer okay, so basically we will receive pointer to integer, which will be pointer which is supposed to be the pointer to our array, and then we also want to know what's the size of the array. Okay, so basically just those 2 parts. Okay, and secondly we want to have function that returns double, and it will be called sum array. Okay, so now we want to add the functions, add the real functions. So firstly, let's focus on the computing class constructor. To body we want to put the same thing as in here. Okay, and last thing we want to have is include vector, because as I said in the beginning, we want to do it using vectors. I'm intentionally using vectors because the point of this video is to show you that you can really use unsupported C# unsupported data types like vector in C++. Okay, you cannot put vector into this class because this class is directly seen from C#, but you can put it over here. Okay, so let's make it private. I'll add using namespace std, and this will be our vector. So vector of integers, and to be called just simply vec. Okay, now let's go to the body. And what's the name of the class? Computing class. Firstly, define the constructor like this, and here we're gonna have, let's make it the same. We want to have vector over here as well. I'm gonna have for some auxiliary integer I equaling 0, I is less than array size do I++, and what it basically will do is it will put values of this array into the vector. Okay, so it will be to the vector push back pointer to the integer okay. So now when this loop is finished, this vector will hold the values of the array that the pointer points to. Okay, and this is basically all. Okay, so the constructor just saves the values of this array the pointer points to this vector. There's nothing more we want the constructor to do. And secondly, we want to have the function SumArray, which is double computing class SumArray, and it will just basically do the following. We want to sum it, so for integer I equaling 0 and I is less than vector where is the okay, over here, I plus plus like this, and let's define, say, cumulated sum, integer cumulated sum 0, and here it's gonna be cumulated sum plus equals vector I. Okay, so that's basically all. Last thing we might want is that that's basically all. We don't need anything more in here. So let's test it. Let's run this application, create a new computing class in here, computing class CC, firstly create array of double, say double my array. It was in those integers. My array equals new integer, and say we want to have only 3 elements. Okay. And equals 3, and do it like this. So my array 0 will be, for instance, 10. My array 1 will be 15. My array 2 will be 75. Okay, and now pass it over here. It will be my array and number of elements. Let's test it. What's the problem? I forgot to put this guy in here. Okay, return accumulated sum, of course. Stupid mistake. Okay, so okay, welcome back. The last video somehow suddenly interrupted, so let's continue where we ended. We just want to test this class if it works properly. So this guy loads the values. It seems that there are really our 3 values, and okay, that's it. And let's test the sum function. Double sum equals cc sum array, just like this. It's so easy. Okay, so we expect a number 100. Okay, so this class works, and so we basically have prepared this guy. This one is working. What we're gonna do next is prepare the wrapper. Okay, and there we have to be quite careful what we are doing, because it's not that straightforward. Okay, so open new Visual Studio, just like this. I'll just resize it so that you can see everything what I'm doing. Okay, and create CLR class library, and let's call it some C++ wrapper. Okay, so what this class is supposed to do, it's supposed to be a DLL file that connects C# and our computing class. Okay, and that can also directly control the computing class. So let's name it. We can see that here is namespace. Basically what is important for this file are only 2 main files. The first one is this guy, the second one is this guy. Those are just some system files. I'm not an IT guy, so I do not understand completely everything, just the important things. Okay, so this is our header file. Let's call it C++ wrapper class. Put this guy away. Okay, this one is prepared. See that I don't want to see this guy here. See that we have thing called namespace in here. Okay, so what we are gonna do is somehow put a link in here, and that will control our main C++ computing class. Okay, so the thing is, we create a constructor it will be in our public area, which will accept pointer to the integer array and also the integer denoting the array size. Okay, so it's basically the same as in our main function. Note that this guy is only supposed to pass values to our main computing class and to control it. Okay, and we also want to have here, say, integer called sum. We want to make it public because we want to see this value from C#. Okay, and yeah, so far it's all. Let me define just the constructor. One more important thing. We need to import this class here. So what's the location of this project? It's over here. Let me see. Okay. So we have to add include age and include what's the name of the main file? Oh, not this guy. It's body. .cpp. Okay, and also put those guys into the header, but not here. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm doing it a little confused, but this is the first time I'm recording this video, so both of those guys must be included in the wrapper class, of course, because this guy wants to import the stuff created in that class. Okay, so just like this. Okay, so we have now included those guys here, so we can see the class from this class. Okay, let's make private here and create pointer to this class p what's it called, computing class. Okay, now let me define the constructor here. We must begin with the namespace. Then we normally add, as we are used to the name of the class, and the constructor. What you're gonna do is to create this pointer, to initiate this pointer. Okay, so it will be like this. Computing class, it's small. Okay. New it's gonna be PCC. New computing class. Okay, so here we have basically initiated this computing class. Now that we use the keyword new, so we must also add delete somewhere. Otherwise, we wouldn't clear the memory when the program ends. Okay. So this is prepared, and want to have function called sum, which will return integer. Get sum, like this, and here we're gonna type cpp wrapper, which is the name of the namespace, wrapper class, get sum, and this is just quite easy to understand, because it will add to our sum the result of the sum function over here, of this computing class. You want to make it integer, by the way. Let's just compile it. Okay, so we want to have sum equals pcc doesn't seem to be working, by the way. I'm really confused now. Something went wrong. Let's see. What's the problem? Oh, because this is supposed to be integer. One more error. Okay, let's see. And the name of the function was some array. Now it works. Okay. I don't know if it needs to be like this or what. Okay, so let's see. There's one more error. Okay, this indicates that the application is correct. Okay, so this guy is ready. This one, the main, is also ready. And the last thing we have to do is to connect it with C#. So go back to C#. And we have to do it using the Solution Explorer. Go to Console Application and Reference. Browse. I don't know what's it called. It's over here. Here there's command. CPP wrapper. Okay. So it's Visual Studio. No. Okay, C# project, CPP wrapper, debug, and import this guy. And now we should be able to see the wrapper class in C#. Okay, but it's not that straightforward because that class uses uses pointers, and pointers are not native type of C#. So we have to do the following. We must type a block called unsafe, just like this. And in unsafe, you must define the pointer. So it will be called fixed. And now define a pointer to the array, and it will be integer pointing to called pointer to array. Just like this, equals my array 0, and here add this guy and add a block which will be CPP wrapper. Wrapper class should be called, I don't know, control C++ plus new PMI array, PMY array, and array size, its number of elements over here. And say we want to have integer called sum of array, which will be control CPP sum. Okay. And here we're gonna have control CPP get sum. So as you can see, we are calling the method of the wrapper class from C#. Okay, and let's see what happens. I'm not sure that this piece of code works during the first run, because I always have to debug it several times, but let's see. So far, so good. We have pointer, get sum. Whoa, there we go. We have got the sum of the array. And what's the benefit of all of this is that you can really do anything in C++ and somehow control it using this wrapper class, this guy, and using C#, which is quite beneficial because you can really use the benefits of both the C# and C++ together. Okay, the construction is not that straightforward, as you can see, but if you really manage this technique well and you practice it, you'll be mastering this stuff and you will love it. Okay, so, the other point is that, as you can see, I'm using the Express Edition, and normally if you use the import DLL stuff, you cannot see what's happening in the C++ application, but here I can see this. I press F11 and I can really see what's happening there in the C++ application. Okay, can you see that? I see that it's loading the values of the integer. It's not the best view, but it's still better than nothing. Okay, so I think basically clarifies everything that I wanted to say, and even though the tutorial was not that straightforward and I've made several mistakes, I hope it helps you a lot with development of any, say, compound application. Okay, so thank you for watching my video and don't forget to visit my channel. Bye.